Good morning, I'm Charlene White, and a warm welcome from ITN's studios in central London, where I'm delighted to be announcing the nominations for the Royal Television Society Programme Awards 2026, presented in partnership with Cast and Crew. The nominations I'm about to reveal represent just a small fraction of the thousands of hours of content produced by British programme makers over the last 12 months. But they're also indicative of the vast range, variety and high quality of content that British producers deliver. The list of nominations really does showcase best-in-class work across all genres, and it's great to see programmes from the smallest indies sitting right alongside shows from the biggest studios in so many of the categories. As usual, the nominations have been selected by juries of professionals drawn from across the industry. Jury members watched the submitted entries, then met on Zoom to discuss each programme. A vote by secret ballot produced a shortlist of nominations for the category. Now, this year, there's an important change in the number of nominations in each category. After consulting with the broadcasters and the streamers, the number of nominations in the scripted categories has been raised from 3 to 4. Now, this change was made to reflect the significantly higher volume of scripted programmes now being produced. So, let's get to the nominations, shall we? We're going to begin with the drama categories, and the first is drama series. The nominations are Blue Lights, produced for the BBC, Code of Silence, produced for ITV1 and ITVX, Slow Horses, produced for Apple TV, and This City Is Ours, produced for the BBC. In the limited series and single drama category, the nominations are Adolescence, produced for Netflix, Get Millie Black, produced for Channel 4, I Fought the Law, produced for ITV1 and ITVX, and What It Feels Like for a Girl, produced for the BBC. To the soap and continuing drama category, and the nominations are Casualty, produced for the BBC, EastEnders, produced for the BBC, and Hollyoaks, produced for Channel 4. In the drama performance categories, the nominees for the female leading actor category are Rose Ayling-Ellis for Code of Silence, produced for ITV1 and ITVX, Erin Doherty for 1,000 Blows, produced for Disney+, Narges Rashidi for Prisoner 951, produced for the BBC, and Tamara Lawrence for Get Millie Black, produced for Channel 4. In the male leading actor category, the nominees are Anthony Boyle for House of Guinness, produced for Netflix, Bobby Schofield for Unforgivable, produced for the BBC, Malachi Kirby for 1,000 Blows, produced for Disney+, and Stephen Graham for Adolescence, produced for Netflix. In the female supporting actor category, the nominees are Amy Lou Wood for Toxic Town, produced for Netflix, Anna Friel for Unforgivable, produced for the BBC, Erin Doherty for Adolescence, produced for Netflix, and Saskia Reeves for Slow Horses, produced for Apple TV. In the male supporting actor category, the nominees are Alexei Mambalov for Department Q, produced for Netflix, Christopher Chung for Slow Horses, produced for Apple TV, Joshua Maguire for The Gold, produced for the BBC, and Owen Cooper for Adolescence, produced for Netflix. OK, we're going to move on to factual programmes now. In the formatted popular factual category, the nominations are Go Back to Where You Came From, produced for Channel 4, The Assembly, produced for ITV1 and ITVX, and The Jury, Murder Trial, produced for Channel 4. In the history category, the nominated programmes are Flight 149, Hostage of War, produced for Sky Documentaries, Simon Sharma, The Road to Auschwitz, produced for the BBC, and Unforgotten, the Bradford City Fire, produced for the BBC. In the live event category, the nominations are VE Day 80, A Celebration to Remember, produced for the BBC. Holocaust Memorial Day 2025, produced for the BBC. And Last Night of the Proms finale, produced for the BBC. Congratulations to the BBC for a clean sweep of nominations in this category. Right, the first of two categories for documentary work is a documentary series, and the three nominated programmes are Bieber and Nicole Murder in the Park, produced for Sky Documentaries. Boyzone No Matter What, produced for Sky Documentaries. And Murder 24/7, produced for the BBC. In the single documentary category, the nominations are Gaza, Doctors Under Attack, produced for Channel 4, Grenfell Uncovered, produced for Netflix, and Groomed, a National Scandal, produced for Channel 4. In the arts category, the nominations are Nick Cave's Veiled World, produced for Sky Arts, The Last Musician of Auschwitz, produced for the BBC, and The Trouble with Mr. Doodle, produced for Channel 4. The nominations in the Science and the Natural World category are Confessions of a Brain Surgeon, produced for the BBC, Pangolin Kulu's Journey, produced for Netflix, and Underdogs, produced for National Geographic and Disney+. In the presenter category, this year's nominees are Hamza Yassin for Hamza's Hidden World Isles, produced for the BBC, Martin Lewis for the Martin Lewis Money Show Live, produced for ITV1 and ITVX, and Davina McCall for Stand Up to Cancer Cancer Clinic Live, produced for Channel 4. Now to the sports coverage and production categories, and these are always very keenly contested, aren't they? For the Sports Programme Award, the nominations are 2025 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, produced for Sky Sports, UEFA Women's Euro 2025 Final, produced for the BBC, and Women's Rugby World Cup 2025, produced for the BBC. In the category of sports presenter, commentator or pundit, the nominees are Alex Jacques for 2025 Formula One Highlights, produced for Channel 4, Gabby Logan for Women's Rugby World Cup 2025, produced for the BBC, and Ruby Tui for Women's Rugby World Cup 2025, produced for the BBC. Entertainment and reality shows are a key element of the nightly battle for ratings, and never more so than in today's highly competitive TV landscape. In the newly configured entertainment and reality category, the nominated programmes are Married at First Sight UK, produced for E4, Race Across the World, produced for the BBC, and The Celebrity Traitors, produced for the BBC. In the entertainment performance category, the nominees are Rob Beckett and Romesh Ranganathan for Rob and Romesh Versus, produced for Sky Max, Romesh Ranganathan for Romesh Can't Knock the Hustle, produced for Sky Max, and Claudia Winkleman for The Celebrity Traitors, produced for the BBC. In the daytime category, this year's nominated programmes are BBC Breakfast, Our Girls, The Southport Families, produced for the BBC, Loose Women, produced for ITV1 and ITVX, and The Marvellous Miniature Workshop, produced for the BBC. In the children's programme category, the nominations are Cronkton, produced for the BBC, Sky Kids Investigates World War Me, produced for Sky News, and Wolf King, produced for Netflix. And now on to the comedy categories. In the comedy drama category, the nominations are Big Boys, produced for Channel 4, Dreaming Whilst Black, produced for the BBC, and Juice, produced for the BBC. In the scripted comedy category, the nominated programmes are Here We Go, produced for the BBC, How Are You? It's Alan Partridge, produced for the BBC, Such Brave Girls, produced for the BBC, and Things You Should Have Done, produced for the BBC. Our congratulations to the BBC for a clean sweep of nominations in this category. For comedy entertainment, the nominated programmes are Last One Laughing, produced for Prime Video, Taskmaster, produced for Channel 4, and Would I Lie to You, produced for the BBC. And congratulations to Prime Video, actually, for their first ever Programme Awards nomination. The comedy performance categories are next, and the 4 nominees for female comedy performance are Jordan Gray for Transaction, produced for ITV2 and ITVX, Catherine Parkinson for Here We Go, produced for the BBC, Lucy Punch for Amandaland, produced for the BBC, and Philippa Dunn for Amandaland again, produced for the BBC. For the male comedy performance, the nominees are Ajani Salmon for Dreaming Whilst Black, produced for the BBC, John Pointing for Big Boys, produced for Channel 4, Oliver Saville for Changing Ends, produced for ITV1 and ITVX, and Steve Coogan for How Are You? It's Alan Partridge, produced for the BBC. Now, each year, the RTS presents the Breakthrough Award to celebrate significant emerging on-screen talent. In the past, this award's been won by outstanding creatives like Michaela Cole, Mae Martin and Nabhan Rizwan, so it's regarded as a real indicator of even greater things to come. So, this year, the nominees are 4 exciting young actors, and they are Ellis Howard, whose performance as Byron, a teenager negotiating a gender identity journey in What It Feels Like for a Girl, produced for the BBC, won outstanding critical acclaim. Kadra Walker-Wilkie, who appeared as 10-year-old Tanika in Just Act Normal, produced for the BBC, and stunned audiences with her performance's authenticity and truth. Maximilian Fairley in Unforgotten, produced for ITV1 and ITVX. Now, Max's character, Marty Baines, was an autistic person front and centre in a major story, and his performance was hailed as groundbreaking. And Owen Cooper, whose performance in Adolescence, produced for Netflix, became a national and international talking point and took him all the way to win at the Golden Globes in Los Angeles in January. Congratulations to all 4 on their nominations. The Programme Awards is proud of its tradition of honouring television's finest writers, and there are 2 writing categories. For comedy writing, this year's nominees are Ajani Salmon and Ali Hughes for Dreaming Whilst Black, produced for the BBC, Tom Basden for Here We Go, produced for the BBC, Jack Rook for Big Boys, produced for Channel 4, and Kat Sadler for Such Brave Girls, produced for the BBC. For drama writing, the nominees are Adam Patterson and Declan Lawn for Blue Lights, produced for the BBC, Catherine Moulton for Code of Silence, produced for ITV1 and ITVX, Jack Thorne and Stephen Graham for Adolescence, produced for Netflix, and Sally Wainwright for Riot Women, produced for the BBC and BritBox. And that concludes the full list of nominations for this year's RTS Programme Awards. Huge congratulations to all the nominees and good luck on the night itself. Now it's my pleasure to hand over to the Chief Executive of the Royal Television Society, Teresa Wise.
Charlene, thank you so much for leading us through the nominations for this year's Programme Awards, and to ITN Studios too for hosting us here today. First of all, my congratulations to all the talented programme makers, writers, actors and presenters whose fine work is recognised today with a nomination. I'm really delighted that shows produced by such a huge range of suppliers from all over Britain have been rewarded by our juries. That's what our Programme Awards are all about, a celebration of the very best of television, all made by British production companies of every shape and size in a creative industry that's so central to our national daily life. There are some people I'd like to thank. This is the 3rd year that we're pleased to welcome cast and crew as our sponsors of the Programme Awards. Cast and Crew is the leading entertainment industry business partner, fueling efficiency with payroll, accounting and creative solutions. They also provide guidance on residuals, workers' compensation, production incentives and financial services that support television, film, advertising and live entertainment productions globally. We really do appreciate their sponsorship of the Programme Awards, so thank you to all our colleagues at Cast and Crew. May I also thank the 270 people who gave up a lot of their time to participate on our juries. At the RTS, we make a special effort to pull together juries that reflect the diversity of today's television audience. And this year, 151 jurors identified as female, 3 as non-binary, and 96 from a minority ethnic background. Thank you to every jury member and everyone who chaired a jury. Thanks as well to our Programme Awards Chair, Kenton Allen, who once again this year inspired us with his customary enthusiasm, creativity and judgment. As this will be my last Programme Awards as Chief Executive, I'd also like to say a very special thank you to all the broadcasters, content platforms, everyone in the production community and the sponsors who've supported these awards so loyally during my years leading the RTS. The Programme Awards is our biggest fundraising event of the year and a real highlight in the Society's annual calendar, but they are a success because of your participation. So thank you for all your support, which I hope will continue for many years to come. That wraps up our presentation for today. Please don't forget to book your table for the big night if you haven't already. It's on Tuesday, the 24th of March at Grosvenor House Hotel. And I'm thrilled to announce that our host will again be the mischievous, super funny Tom Allen. It really will be a wonderful night of celebration for the best of British television. So I'll see you then for the RTS Programme Awards 2026, presented in partnership with Cast and Crew. Thank you.